Welcome into another edition of Battle of Alberta Banter Off-Season Transactions Edition. We've got ourselves quite a significant news dump today. The first thing that happened, and this was earlier in the week, the Flames re-signed restricted free agent Andrew Mangiapane, and we were getting ready to make jokes saying, hey, it's only a 3-year deal. That means he wants to get out of here as quickly as possible, as has been the case with many players in the Flames. But then what happened on Thursday is Jonathan Huberdeau, the newly acquired Jonathan Huberdeau, inked an 8-year deal to stick around in Calgary. We've got Printzy from Flames Nation. We've got Wanye from Oilers Nation, and we've got Coombsy, the host. I am impartial, and we're going to talk Oilers and Flames and Battle of Alberta. So the first thing we want to get into is, who are we going to talk about first? Mangiapane? Do you want to talk about Huberdeau? You want to just talk big picture? What are we feeling?
I like Pulley. I want to talk about that guy.
Don't you worry about Pulley. Don't you worry about nothing up here. You're handing out bags of money down there to anybody with a pulse and an HLPA card.
Let's talk about
value your cap down there.
Let's talk about the littlest fish here. Yesy Pulley. We'll get into it. I actually, just because I know it's quick, because it's a bit of older news, but I actually wanted to get your guys' reaction on him coming back. Like, is this actually like, sign him, keep him for the year, see what's going on, or is he gone?
Oilers fans, for the most part, love Pulley, right? And it's strange because normally the fans are either like ahead of management in running guys out of town, or we're usually on the same page that someone sucks and we all agree, right? Pulley is beloved, I would say, with most Oilers fans due to his general likableness and tongue-licking capabilities. Very rarely do we get Oilers that people love, right? I think Pulley is in that camp.
He's kind of a controversial one. He's kind of become, you kind of see like a proxy war between the old school types and the stats types, and there's a big battle going on Twitter. But I think if you're just the kind of Oilers fan who goes to the games and likes the players and wants to see them win, you enjoy Jesse Pulley. He's always smiling. He skates around really hard. He seems like a nice guy. And I think, like Wanye said, I feel like 9 out of 10, at least 8 out of 10 Oilers fans are happy he's sticking around. He signs a 1-year, $3 million deal. But the problem is now Kyler Yamamoto also signs a 2-year contract, and the Oilers are over the salary cap. So somebody's got to go, and we have no idea who it's going to be. Is it going to be Puljujärvi that goes? Is it going to be Warren Foegele that goes? Tyson Barrie? Like, honestly, who knows at this point?
Because like, you're over the cap right now, but like with the LTR retirement stuff, I think that you're fine after that, but you got no wiggle room, right? Like if there's an injury that happens or something, you guys are fucked. So you got to move somebody out, right?
Yeah, someone's got to go. I don't know who it's going to be, though.
You don't know who that could be. Okay, well, so I'm okay with it, because like for some reason too, Flames fans kind of like him too, but I think they like him because he's kind of weird and like sticks his tongue up his nose and has a helmet that doesn't fit him and skates kind of awkwardly, and whatever pictures, him standing by a buffalo, getting, takes steps closer.
You know who else has a long tongue? Gene fucking Simmons has a long tongue. And that guy was the lead singer of AC/DC for at least 4 days.
Okay. Yeah, you got me.
Pulley doesn't complain about his long tongue. Wink. If you drag what I'm saying, wink.
Okay. We're good on Pulley. I just wanted to get
that's our Oilers talk there. We
Let's talk about how the Flames got spurned by Johnny Gaudreau. So the next Jonathan that came through, they just gave him Johnny Gaudreau's contract.
Yeah.
God, he's Johnny Gaudreau. Good strategy, everybody. A Jonathan for a Johnny. Who makes that deal?
Has he picked a number yet, Huberdeau? He's wearing 13, Gaudreau's jersey, so everyone can just get
the over the million he makes every year.
Yeah, his number is actually 10.5 with the number that he signed with last time. But no, he's number 10. I think it was down to like 91 or 10, and read into that what you want if they're keeping 91 open for somebody. But who knows here what's going on in Calgary?
Who would that be?
They're still, man, like it's so weird, man. It's like you see the Kadri stuff of like, oh, it's Islanders, it's done. And then I was listening to Elliot, and he's like, Calgary's still kicking around on this, man. He's like, I have no idea how they're gonna do it, but they're still kicking around on it. Like, who knows?
Well, who could the Flames move? Because they've got to be getting close to the salary cap ceiling by now, right? With
they've got the wiggle room left on the cap, like kind of that 1.5 to 2 million that's left over, or whatever. But they've got everybody signed. But I think one of their guys, Adam Ruzicka, still needs to be signed, but that's going to be a very minimal thing. But with the addition of somebody like Mackenzie Weegar on the back end, that makes one of your defensemen, maybe like a Noah Hannafin, a little bit more expendable. And that somebody's still making calls on like a Sean Monahan, or if they're trying to ship out like someone like a Lucic or somebody, if they cleared it, they can do it for sure. But it's just whether or not they're actually going to clear it and do it. Who knows, man? Who knows with this fucking team, man?
Who's taking on Milan Lucic right now?
Wow, it's everybody.
Boston, they wanted to return for the friendship tour.
That's actually not even a joke, man. Someone like Boston might actually take him, man. Like the guys in the group chat were kind of throwing it around there that, Noah Hannafin's a Boston kid, and we kind of ran into some trouble with some American players not wanting to be in Calgary, and you ship a guy like Noah Hannafin to Boston and eat a little bit of Lucic's and send whatever they want. Like there's something like that could happen. I'm just speaking out of my ass right now because the speculations, it's there, man. It's August, sure. Man. There's got to be something to talk about, but like our organization has given us something to talk about every fucking 5 days here, man. Like it seems like it's just been ever since free agency opened, man. It's been
ever since BOA Banter fired up.
Yeah, there you go, man.
The order never stops.
Yeah, we were talking about this off air on the start. It was the day before free agency, Johnny Gaudreau announces he's not coming back, and it was literally like, oh, it's like someone died in the family. Like all Flames, like the entire Flames Nation just felt like, oh my God, we're done for. We were screwed.
Dancing on your graves.
Yeah. Oiler fans dancing on our graves, people dunking on us. And then, Brad Tree Living comes out and, addresses the Gaudreau saying he's not coming back. And Tree Living sounds like he's speaking at a funeral. And then the one thing I noticed was he spoke again, I think on the radio, maybe 1 or 2 days later after free agency. And he sounded fucking fine. Like he was like, I'm not going to roll over and cry in the corner about this, man. Like we get up and move on. It's a new day. And clearly for Calgary, they've gotten up and moved on from this. So it's fun times down here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's good big picture stuff. Cause this is what we were talking about when we recorded the podcast, where it was Gaudreau's leaving to Chuck wants out. And we kind of said, hey, as fun as it is to watch the Flames implode, and it's kind of funny to have the shoe on their foot, because usually
that's super funny. Oh, those were good times.
The 10 days you got to enjoy.
It was fun. It was fun to watch it, but I think we deep down were like, it would be unfortunate if we only got 1 year of both these two teams being good at the same time. We want to see another playoff match again between the Oilers and Flames, because the Oilers will probably win. And it's just going to be, an exciting thing to keep watch happening year after year. And if the Flames bottom out, that's no fun. We don't want that.
No. I mean, same thing said. It'd be fun. Yeah, it's kind of the initial shock of like watching your team implode, and then you're laughing at it, and then you kind of realize you're like, well, this sucks. Like, the Oilers were shitty for 15 years, and the Flames made the playoffs.
Sure, we were shitty for 13 years.
13. Okay, 13
years. We were 500.
Right. Oh, gotcha.
We were mediocre, 2 of those.
Well, it's like us. We would
2007, 8, 2008, 9.
Well, it's like us. We made the playoffs 1 year and then didn't, and then made it and then didn't, and then went
Nilsson, Cogliano, and Gagner are a young guns line, and you better watch your mouth.
Robert Nilsson.
Young gun.
But yeah, it's there are people out there that are definitely looking at the Huberdeau contract and looking at it more long term, and looking at his age and how long it is. And there's definitely, it's structured a little bit more different with the salary bonuses and stuff like that. And there's no movements. And, there's a little bit of kickback there from Flames fans being like, this contract's not going to look great in X amount of years or whatever it is. But, the kind of mentality, I might get roasted for this. I seem to get roasted for everything I say. So we'll take it for what it is.
The internet.
Yeah. Welcome to Flames Nation. It's, look at it now. Look at it today. Like, that's celebrate what it is today, man. Like, the Flames finally locked up a superstar. They finally, and somebody that's never even played a game for the Flames before. So they got a guy to actually come in and sell him on the organization.
How the hell does Huberdeau go from being the head of the Ferrari boys to bloody? Did he calculate how many Ferraris he can purchase with infinity dollars? The Flames gave him probably.
I guess so. Like, I don't know if he's upgrading to some kind of Ford truck or something like that, but
he'll need something.
He's going to become the head of the truck boys in Calgary, and they're all going to park their vehicles.
Yeah,
they're all going to park their vehicles in Red Deer, and it's going to be a completely different aesthetic, very different Johnny Huberdeau.
Yeah, well, I just kind of catch, because Huberdeau just spoke as we started this podcast, so I just kind of catching some stuff here and there, and people are kind of joking around about it, making it kind of fun. He said a very big factor in this decision was actually Brad Tree Living flying out and meeting with him in Montreal for dinner or whatever it was. So taken to that, for what it is. And
I find that shocking. I wonder if we've ever thought of flying out and meeting with people we wanted to.
Well, the Oilers
seems straightforward, and yet we can't get anybody to come here.
Really?
So
did you guys fly out to Evander Kane?
We flew Danny Heatley to the International Space Station in 2006 and gave him a 45-minute DVD presentation of the many shopping malls of Edmonton. And it didn't work for shit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Look
And
at
then
space.
shortly after that, the Oilers changed their approach to having all of their interactions on Skype, like when Ralph Kruger got let go via Skype.
I'm right.
No,
we were doing social distancing and Zooms like years ago at the Oilers. We were doing everything by Zoom.
Didn't want to bring him to the city.
Getting shot, fired coaches, getting shot down. Well, he was so mad he left the sport and went to England and did soccer.
Oh yeah, that's right. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. But I mean, yeah, again, we kind of talked about this off air. It's Jonathan Huberdeau's played almost 10 years in Florida or whatever it was, and he's had his time on the beach, and this jet skis and the golf carts and this and that, but at the end of the day, the guy's won one playoff round. So
listen to this. I'm gonna fucking take you down a happiness.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Ready for this, Coom? You
ready
for some fucking breaking news? I was in a meeting the other day, and this dude who's way old and had like a collared shirt, therefore is smart. He said construction prices in Canada for any sort of commercial building have gone up 45% in the last 2 years.
Good Lord.
Now, my project I was meeting with him about went out the window, and all I could do was start laughing, thinking about, you're never going to get an arena. You're never going to get an arena down there. The $400 million arena we have is now $600 million down in Calgary if they're spaced that far apart. You're never going to get a new arena. You could have 20 Jonathan Huberdeaus unless he's going to pay for the arena, which he could. You're never going to get a new arena.
Yeah.
You're never going to get one.
We'll laugh at the end.
Yeah, that's why they had to have the meeting in Montreal, because if Johnny came to the Saddle Dome and he had to walk up the stairs, he had to feel the extreme, like the inability to breathe when you're up there, like how light the air is.
Is the Saddle Dome the worst part in the NHL now? It must be.
In terms of like its style and its old, I would say it's pretty close. A lot of people are really dunking on this ASU stadium.
Why? It looks fun.
Brand new. It's just
it's brand new. It's just really small.
It looks fun though. Doesn't it look like a good time?
It does. It does look like a good time.
It's unique. It's something different, right? Like, I don't know if that exact same thing were happening in Quebec and they were playing. I know Quebec does have like a real NHL stadium, but let's say hypothetically that Quebec had a QMJHL stadium that housed like 7,500 people, and it was this little bandbox. Everybody would be going ape shit, being like, this is the coolest vibe in the NHL.
They've got massive regional TV deals. The reality is, we saw during the you don't actually need fans in the stands always, right?
Right. Yeah, that's true. I mean, that's
the
the
fact
thing.
that they're a bitch and can't even have weekend games and their logo on the ice.
That's pretty.
That's
funny,
what's embarrassing there, and the fact that they're having the opponents dress in like a portable, like they're filming a movie or something. That's embarrassing. But as a fan, they have like an outside like portable area.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I know. it's a whole fuck situation, but
Gary Bettman's man. Looking 10 years down the road at all times, right? Like, he understands that, like, well, he did it for us when he first became commissioner. Like, that you're as strong as your weakest link, and he goes to bat for the crappy franchises. You have to give him credit. Like, as a franchise,
except for Atlanta.
What's that?
Except for Atlanta, that was the one thing he let die. Just after 10 years, Atlanta, you're done.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess that's true.
That
but
was the
idea of moving them back to Winnipeg.
But that's also because the Thompsons got involved, right? And when the Thompsons wanted a team in Winnipeg, and they phoned Gary Bettman on the God phone, and they were like, "Oh, hi there, Gary. We were just at the Federal Reserve minting our own money. What would it take to get Atlanta to pop up here and right? Oh, of course. I'll see you at the Illuminati meeting next October. Great, excellent. Like, to me, that was on some other shit. I'm leaving.
Yeah, I mean, the whole point of this too is like, the Saddle Dome's not great, man. We know that.
You're never getting a new one. You might as well.
Well, not anytime soon, man. That's the thing. Not anytime soon. I mean, Huberdeau's contract, he's here for the next 9 years, so maybe in the next 9 years.
I bet you won't have an arena. We should make an old man bet right now. It'll pop up in our phones like 2032. You owe Wanye one Astro credit. Right about arena.
I think they will, but it'll be near the end of his contract. I think they will. Who knows, man? Like, I don't know. We got to get
the rent to the Flames for the arena would have to go up by 45% over what the rent the Oilers are paying.
Yeah, it's wild
That's
times, man. I
wild,
mean, wild times. I mean, hopefully things all level out. And again, people talking about the Huberdeau contract, the salary cap is supposed to go up in the next couple of years. So who knows, man? Who knows? Like it's
Are they running mad escrow next season? Like they had still pretty heavily escrowed this
I'm
season.
pretty sure, yeah. Like there's like they had a rebound year this year for sure, but like just
Cap goes up, but the escrow is still 90%.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm sure they'd be really happy about that. But
you gotta put the Flames in arena, man. Escrow's 93% now.
Who knows, man? Who knows with all this stuff? It's probably been one of the wildest seasons, and my first one actually covering for Flames Nation to deal with all this stuff.
This
man.
has been a roller coaster ride. Like the past, like 3 months now has been
3 years, man. Like this shit, ever since March 2020, everything has been on tilt.
Well, I mean, like I'm just taking it as like you guys had a good off season. Like you got Campbell back, you got Kane.
It was so calm,
but it was just calm. Like for me, it's not calm, man. Like
no, like it's the roles have totally reversed here, man. Like the Flames used to always have these pretty low key, like everything's fairly predictable, nothing's whacked. Like you know, the ups and downs aren't extreme. They're always kind of in the middle. And then the Oilers are just a mess. Like someone's leaving. They're trying to replace this guy with somebody else who doesn't want to be here. They're showing a DVD to this guy who refuses to come to the city. And it's just whack. And then all of a sudden the roles have reversed and Calgary's had the weirdest few months ever. Mm-hmm. And Edmonton, everything's just chill. Everyone's re-signing, everyone's happy. And it's what is going on here? Bizarro world.
Well, it's even for us at Flames Nation, our fan base has been a lot angrier than they normally have been. They've been fighting with each other.
Sometimes I look at it when I'm in bed.
Well, sometimes I'd look at it and log off. I'm like, Jesus, you guys, like, calm down. I think I even said that at like the start when Johnny walked. I said that on my podcast. I was like, just stay calm, everyone. Like, stay calm. The GM knows, like the GM, maybe this is why all this stuff happened, because if Brad Living didn't perform and bring this team back to contention like he has, he'd probably gone, man. So like, what would you do if your back is against the wall and you got a gun pointed at your head, man? Like he had to do this stuff. Like maybe he doesn't give a shit. He might not be here in 2030. He doesn't care. So deal with it now. You know, focus on this team now. This team's got enough pieces right now that keeps them in contention. No, they have not replaced Matthew Tkachuk yet. The offseason is still fairly, you know, we're I don't know if we're halfway through it yet. We're getting pretty damn close. So things still might happen, man. But
speaking of fans that are angry, though, and I think we should touch on this because it's quite funny, is how angry Habs fans are because yet again, there's a French Canadian player who they felt was going to be their savior. And this happens all the time. You know, maybe it was Vinny Lecavalier or Danny Briere or someone supposed to come and sign with the Habs and be their guy. And Huberdeau, they had already decided, he's going to sign a $9 million annual contract. And then
was that a French accent?
That was good. That was good. I like that. That was good.
And yeah, they're just livid about it. Like they thought it was a foregone conclusion, and it just is not happening.
Let's call Edmonton and Calgary not quite popular destinations in the NHL.
Fair enough. Yeah.
If you don't want to have the pressure of playing in Calgary, Alberta, which I think is limited, if you're like a francophone player, you're not going to want to go home to the motherland and have to deal with the 57 French newspapers of Montreal. Yeah. If you're from Ontario, look at Tavares, man. Like he actually faced the music and went home. I don't think it's gone well. You don't want to go. If Edmonton and Calgary are not quite popular places, I swear Montreal and Toronto are worse.
Oh, 100%, man. 100%. If you follow the guy on Instagram, like he's got, you know, wherever he lives in the off season, he's got it set up there in Quebec, a nice cabin, a great spot. Like he's going to spend his time in Calgary and then go home in the summertime. Like it's not that big of a deal. I think you're completely right. And there might even be the factor of like the reverse Gaudreau effect. Like I don't want to go to Montreal and have 50 fucking family members and friends hounding me for tickets every single night. Right. Like I'll be able to see him, you know, fly him out to Canada, you know, whatever. Right? Apparently Huberdeau's got his brother's just an absolute weapon, just follows him around and drinks and goes on road trips and shit. Yeah. Apparently. so
Pitt, like Brad Pitt's brother.
Yeah. Yeah. I think his name's like Sebastian or something like that. So like he put himself probably in a good spot. Like, you know, it's hard to say, like if he was a free agent and Bradshaw Living offered him the exact same money, would he have come to Calgary, or did they just catch him at the right spot where they traded for him, showed that he was wanted, caught him at a time where he's probably a little pissed off at the Panthers for what they did. And they brought one of his good buddies, Uyghur, with him. So I think just the stars all aligned, man. It could have gone so much worse, but the stars just aligned for Calgary. And the only thing left to do is show it on ice, man. That's the thing. Show it on ice. He's the big deals. Him and even Mangiapane, which we haven't really touched on him that much either. But these guys got big deals and they have to perform on ice now. That's at the end of the day, perform it on ice, man.
You want to know what I think about Mangiapane?
No, I don't.
Here's what I always think about Mangiapane. I go, oh shit, Mangiapane. They call him the bread man. And then I go, no, Wanye, that's Panarin. And I remember this one story when I was in the States one time, and they have a chain of stores down there called Panera, right?
Panera, okay.
And it's like bread, like you get sandwiches and shit. And I was with some guy, and I was like, hey, we got to go to Panarin. He's like, Panarin is not a place. I'm like, no, it is. It's like where you get sandwiches and shit. He's like, I'll bet you $20 that you have the wrong name. And I'm like, Panarin is a name I've heard. It is a word I've heard many times. I will shake hands. So I hate Mangiapane because he made Panarin lose me money on a bet. So fuck that guy. $5 million? Ridiculous.
How does that connect?
They both have bread-based names.
Yeah,
Mangiapane a bread-based name?
One guy means eat bread.
Yeah, in Italian, it means eat bread. Yeah.
Oh, I'd never heard that. Okay.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
You want to bet me $10? I could even up on this bitch.
I might actually.
I'm not going to make that bet.
I think it does.
100% take your guys' word for it.
Yeah, it says. I think I heard him say it on an after hours when it means.
There's
eat bread.
two bread-based names in the NHL.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is. Yeah, there is, man. But to get him locked up too, and he kind of said something interesting on Calgary radio when they did the post interview after signing his contract. They kind of asked him about Johnny, and he said, yeah, there's guys that there's Canadians here. I'm Canadian. I love it here playing in Canada. It's different for me. I'm Canadian, and Johnny had a choice to resign wherever he was, and this is all paraphrasing stuff, but I read it and heard it, and he said he had a choice to resign or sign, and he chose to sign somewhere else. But here's the kicker, as Mangiapane said, you could kind of see it throughout the season. So,
really?
Yeah. So that's what everyone's like, oh God, like wonder what that's about. And I don't know if I want to call that a shot at him, but it's definitely not praising
a ringing
him.
Endorsement of your skills, that's for sure.
Yeah, man. So it'll be interesting to see about, you'll never know the stuff about how many players knew the Johnny Gaudreau situation. I think Eric Branson's probably the only one that knew. But who knows, man, what goes through these guys.
I wonder though, like, do you think that the guys really look to Gaudreau as the dig deep type? Or is he like supremely gifted guy?
Probably not, man. And the thing that I will say is obviously they're in a situation where he basically replaced him. Like everyone, it's so funny, but even on this show, I think I even said you can't replace Johnny Gaudreau. Well, what the fuck did they do? They went out and got 115 point left winger.
You didn't think they couldn't free agency though. You
didn't think he was available, right? Like
no
in free
one
agency,
thought Huberdeau was getting.
But like guys right now on the Flames are probably thinking, okay, this is fucking fine. This is even better. You'd like Johnny Gaudreau as a person and their friends, stuff like that. But as a business, you want to think of it as, okay, well, you know what? This is probably a better player. This is a bigger guy, stronger guy that penalty kills, the guy that goes in the corners. He hasn't been as experienced in the playoffs. So this guy's been to all-star games, and, he set the record, what was it, for most assists ever by a left winger last year and stuff like that. So I don't think the Flames guys are sitting back today and going, shit, we're so screwed without Johnny Gaudreau. I think it's just, he's in the rearview mirror. He's a friend right now, but let's focus on the business at hand.
Now you got to focus on the Tkachuk replacement.
Hold on. Did you just say that he's still a friend?
Oh, yes. Like,
are you type to stay friends with your exes? They are dead to me when they leave the Edmonton Oilers Hockey Club. Dead. Dead.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, like the debate in the group chat is, when Johnny Gaudreau comes back to Calgary and he goes in the corner with Nikita Zadorev, do you think Zadorov's going to go light on him? Probably fucking not.
He's going to laugh and boo his ass.
Because, yeah, exactly. And it doesn't really, too, is people were now like, okay, so Johnny Gaudreau's probably going to get booed out of the building. I don't think Matthew Tkachuk's going to get booed out of the building, man. I actually don't think he is. Just based on the return for the trade, how he went publicly and explained the whole situation. We had him. Right.
Well, Gaudreau did too, right? With his dad being ill and whatnot, right?
Yeah, but it's tougher, man, because there's with the Gaudreau stuff, it's still in the back of everyone's mind that, he kind of strung the Flames out a little bit and wasn't honest and upfront with him. Doesn't matter about his reasoning with his dad. That all makes sense to me. And I understand that. It's just the fact that the Flames were under the impression that they had him and then they didn't.
I know a thing or two about being spurned by players in the NHL who don't want to play. If they don't like it in Calgary because of this like off ice and shit, what you need to do is be extra petty, shit on them extra hard when they get back, and send a message to the other players in the NHLPA that if you don't like it here, it's only going to get worse.
I mean, I think people will boo Tkachuk a little bit, but not to the degree that Gaudreau is going to get it. And like I said, we had him on missing curfew. We had him on 2 weeks ago or whatever it was, and he was very open about it, very open and honest, and said, you know, I worked with Brad Tree Living and I let him know right away, and my agent got in touch with him and we made sure that we ironed out the best deal possible for both of us. And that's what they did, man. And that's you know, Calgary's in a very good spot. If they lock up Mackenzie Weegar, man, look the fuck out, man.
Do you think you guys are better right now than you were at the BOA?
If they lock up Weegar, to be perfectly honest, I will say yes.
Coom?
I don't think so, because I think the Tkachuk factor is huge. Like, they replaced Johnny Gaudreau's skill with, I think you can argue that Huberdeau is a superior player. That's fine.
So here's another X factor in this, and this is another debate amongst Flames, and it's whether they move him or not. They shut down Sean Monahan with his hip surgery or whatever right before the playoffs last year. So he's had a lot of time to recover, and he's been injured for the last couple of years. So if you get a healthy Sean Monahan back in your lineup, does that include picking up some of the slack that left over after Tkachuk? You know, Monahan is a guy that you put in the slot on the power play, and Huberdeau fishes the puck out of the corner and gets it to him. If they have a guy like Sean Monahan who returns back to form, that's like finding lost money. So I don't know if you know, that's all a question mark. You have no idea if that's going to happen or not. But if it does happen, I think that puts them in a really good spot. So, and like I said, they may not be done. They don't have a whole lot of wiggle room, but they've got a lot of roster players that could be dealt. So who knows? I think that they're, you know, maybe they're not a better team, but they did not regress, in my opinion. They have not regressed.
No, they're not significantly worse by any stretch. But
if
I look at it,
they're different.
Yeah, if I look at it as an Oilers fan, I used to think, okay, the Flames can beat the Oilers because they can get in Edmonton's head and make them take penalties and do stupid shit. Mm-hmm. And now Tkachuk's gone, and it's like, who does that?
Yeah, that's true. And I mean, you look at it, not necessarily against Edmonton. I mean, he didn't do much. He had a really good, you know, whatever that 9-8 game was or whatever. He had a hat trick. He was good. But against Dallas, he literally chased John Klingberg around for 3 games and like caused penalties and, you know, hurt his hand and stuff like that too. Like, I think he's definitely got a lot of growing up to do in that aspect of realizing that it's, you know, not always about the game within the game. So like I said, him chasing around Klingberg for half the series didn't really help us that much. And, you know, there wasn't anybody on Edmonton that really, you know, bought into his silly antics. I mean, you know, looking back on the series, the only thing funny that happened was when Lucic completely ran over Smith. I thought that was hilarious, but Tkachuk didn't really do much in that series, man. Like, was there something that stands out to you? Like, did he drag anybody into the fight? No, the guy that was
Kane neutralized him for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, he was chirping him in the penalty box, which is funny. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, Kane probably gets chirped like that every single night. So it's not that much different. The only guy that I noticed, I mean, not stats wise, was Lucic running around hitting Smith, taking runs at McDavid. You know, he had Cassian pinned down to the ground, stuff like that. But, you know, to me, Tkachuk didn't stand out in the Battle of Alberta enough to make a difference. I would rather see Jonathan Huberdeau come down and go fucking rip one bar down and, you know, take the lead in a game when they needed it versus Tkachuk rubbing a guy out on the boards.
And Johnny Gaudreau did a really good job of doing that against Tampa in the playoffs. So he's all set up perfectly.
Oh, Huberdeau
Huberdeau.
No,
what am I even saying? This is the difficult part, is they switch Gaudreau for Huberdeau and the names are so similar. I keep saying the wrong
Fair enough.
One of my main passions is making up super mean nicknames for Flames. And I've just decided on the spot, I'm going to call him Johnny Gooberdeau. What a little bitch.
Yeah, I mean, you Oiler fan. Actually, you know, this just popped in my head too. And this is something that keeps getting brought up, but it's kind of phasing out. And I'm sure you guys don't know this fucking DNL Oiler analytic dude that keeps putting out those just horrific takes one after another. The guy that put out there, Jack Campbell, is the best goalie in the Pacific Division, and it's not.
His name is what on what platform?
He's the guy on fucking Twitter. It's like Oilers DNL, Oilers Analytics or something. He's got a fucking.
I thought he was doing a bit. I thought he was trying to imitate that Leafs account, Editor in Leaf.
Yeah,
that's what I thought was happening, but maybe he's being serious.
He's the guy that just puts out awful take after awful take, and then like people were buying into it. Now no one gives a shit about him.
I don't see it. I'm looking right now. I give a shit.
Let me fucking find it here. He's got a picture of like a skull and like
terrible Oilers takes. He's already my friend.
Analytics. What the fuck is his name? Yeah, Oilers Analytics. That's his handle. So I tweet about the Oilers. DNL is his name on there, and his latest tweet from last night is Tree Living set the Flames back 10 years with that dreadful contract. Huberdeau is a playmaker who obviously have a drop in production because he has nobody to pass the puck to. Thanks for solidifying the Oilers spot on the top for years to come, you idiots.
Yeah, he gets it.
Yeah, he gets it. He definitely gets it. I mean, he struck a chord when he said Jack Campbell is the best goalie in the Pacific Division. It's not even close.
Oh, it's not even close.
No,
it's not even close.
Not even close. And then the other funny one that he put out the other day is he made the comparison of Johnny Gaudreau and Matthew Tkachuk leaving Calgary is comparable to Evander Kane and Kulak re-signing, because Kulak and Kane are loyal Oilers, and they show the fan base that they care.
Where are these terrible takes? All I'm seeing is fucking right on heat. Right on the money. Right in the button, as we say.
Oh, God. Yeah, and then he lists, the Leafs as the most delusional, which I can agree that most.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, that's valid.
I would give that to ourselves.
I think you guys
award ourselves the award for most delusional fans.
Yeah, he's another one. Tkachuk and Gaudreau left the Flames because they know their old hag of a coach Sutter is going to coach that organization 6 feet below the ground. Oilers, on the other hand, have the best driven analytics coach in the game in Woodcroft. Flames fan, enjoy your 1965 coaching.
What is Huberdeau's brother's name?
Sebastian.
I think I know who this is.
Did you find him?
It's probably Sebastian Huberdeau.
It's probably him. Yeah, no, it's like I said, the Oilers fans.
Like a 10-year-old kid, Printzy, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I know.
Life. He's in grade 6. This is his outlet. He likes to talk about hockey. His mom.
Oilers fans are fine to have their own version of Noah Adler, and that's who this is.
Oh yeah, well, I can't wait till
Noah Adler's going to jail.
Noah and Waz start their own podcast together.
I heard he's going to jail.
The last thing I will say is it popped up in the Flames group chat here, was we want to give a big shout out to Nation Dan. Nation Dan definitely manifested the success of the Flames off season, because he's ran his mouth. I don't know, he probably tweets about the Flames 20 to 25 times a day. I think it is. The minute Huberdeau signed, Nation Dan immediately, he's not coming back, this and that. So Dan, thank you so much for running your mouth about the Flames, because you brought the success onto us just because you couldn't keep your fucking mouth shut, man. So
fight.
Keep talking, man.
Emoji.
Honestly, keep talking, keep running your mouth, because good things are happening. So the minute you shut up, then things.
But remember that the Run Your Mouth Award still has to go to Noah Adler for the most chirping.
Yeah, he's definitely up there. That's for sure.
He's like the guys who pitch balls to the guys at the All-Star game for warm-up. He's that level of pitcher. He stands at the mound. There's like a protective net.
The home run derby.
Throws the ball and hides behind the net as everyone takes every softball tweet to the yard that Noah Adler ever says.
I'll see what he has to say about that.
Tell him to give a terrible tweet on Twitter about it.
Yeah. Well, that's it, fellas. That's the Flames off season in a nutshell.
Printzy, you've rebuilt quickly. I'm dismayed. Yeah. We were hoping it would take you quite a long time to get out of the toilet. We've had longer shifts for Connor McDavid than your rebuild. That's not a good sign. Like a month ago, you were getting waterboarded in a toilet at school, and now you're the principal again.
It'll make for some good BOA games that unfortunately are over by
in the next 5
Yeah, there's probably one tomorrow. Like
emotionally, I'll never leave the 2022 BOA. We can talk whenever. It's all about the Flames. It's all about the Oilers. It's all about the BOA.
We should get t-shirts made up that say, for the Oilers, they say 2022 Battle of Alberta champions. And then for the Flames, we could have a different version that says 2022 Battle of Alberta runner-ups.
He's got the wheels are turning in his head.
Yeah, you like that?
You like anti-Calgary merchandise. That's how we're talking.
Yeah, you would, man.
Never gonna get an arena, man. 45%. What the flying fuck are you gonna do? You're gonna be playing in the Saddle Dome with Jerome McGinley III as your captain still. Fuck.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know, man. But we'll leave that in Ryan Pike's hand to deliver the news, man. On that stuff.
The arena. Ryan needs to rerun the cost now. He's gonna have his monocle will pop off. He'll be so surprised.
I don't know enough about that shit, man. I just go on Twitter and fight with people and
that's all you need to know.
Nasty takes. I'll leave the analytical stuff and the business side of the arena to Ryan Pike.
He'll get her over the finish line. All right. Good show, boys. Good show.
Yeah.
We cover everything. We're good.
We'll cover everything. We'll probably be back again because the Flames will do something crazy again. I know it, man. Because the other thing too is we could be back is like I would not be shocked if it's soon that Uyghur gets announced because of this.
You want to talk then?
Of course, yeah. Always do. Of course, man. Right. Well,
next time is a transaction. It's Battle of Alberta offseason transaction edition.
Yep, that's true. Very true. So we'll see what happens, man. Maybe when the Oilers actually move something, who knows, man. But I have a feeling we're kind of getting into the season where Brad Treliving, I have a feeling as soon as Brad Treliving signs Uyghur, he's fucking off and going to some cabin and turning his phone off and not fucking answering it for like a month until preseason starts. So
I was of the mind that Jack Campbell is the best goalie in the Pacific Division. And I said it on one of my burner accounts on Twitter, which I won't name specifically.
Right.
But with the best goalie in the Pacific League backstopping us, I predict the Oilers are going to have a wonderful season ahead.
Right. You know, Jack Campbell being the best goalie in the Pacific Division. I saw an
hands down, not even close.
Hands down, not even close. I saw some Flames fan add probably the best tweet ever in response to that. He said the Saddle Dome is the best arena in the NHL, and it's not even close.
You're gonna have to make it work for the next 20 years.
I know. Oh, I know. Anyways, I'm done. I'm out of this. I'm done with this stuff.
Have a good weekend, everybody.
Best wishes.